Okay. Okay. Hello. 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 Hel- Hello. Hello. Hello, everybody out there. Welcome to Lewis Schaffer Uncooked. Lewis Schaffer Livestream. Unprepared, underprepared, not prepared. Barely awake. Thank you for coming in there. Tiddles. Tiddles is back. Welcome back, Tiddles. MC Scott. Avocado Man. I was the first comment, so a big round of applause for being the first comment. Same bums and I love that. I shouldn't really love that. I don't know if I like this microphone being in here. I'm going to take this out. I'm going to take that out. Anyway, thank you very much, Maltese Phil. I need to recenter the camera feed. Is that recentered? How does that look? How does that look recentering? Kermit. Where is Kermit? Shank's in the building. Julian is here. MC Scott on the scene. On the scene. What scene are we talking about? I don't know what we're talking about. I'm not prepared for this. I don't even know what's going on today. I can't read Twitter anymore. Black bar on top. Why is there a black bar on top? Oh, I see why there's a black bar. Okay, how does that look? Hold on. Okay, how does that look? Can you see the black bar on top? Yes or no? Is it good? Okay, I fixed it. I fixed it. All right, good. Well, I don't know what's going on here. I've got the producer is here, but he's going off to play tennis. Kermit says, "Thanks, Shanks." That's right. I didn't know what you meant by that. What happened is that the picture, like here, like this. Well, maybe not like that, but maybe I can center it. Inversion, interlacing, properties, transform. Is that the one? Stretch to screen. Is that what it is? Okay. Well, if it doesn't look good, we'll fix it again. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. This is the least. I was thinking today. There's no AI here. There's no whatever it is, CP something. Julian said he just got a 27-inch 4K monitor today. It's like I've discovered my eyes again, looking at lovely Lewis. Stop worrying, dude. I wasn't really that worried, but Shanks was worried and Kermit was worried. And because, and if the producer was in any way interested in this stuff, he would have been worried. He would have been worried. So thank you. Darklands is here. Beautiful, beautiful Darklands. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Darklands is here. Maltese Phil. Tiddles. Where is Tiddles from again? I forget. I should pay more attention. If you send me a picture to Twitter, I will possibly remember you. Has GB News gotten rid of me? Well, who knows what the story is, I'm not English. I'm not British, and they're under a lot of pressure. They're under a lot of pressure. Hopefully less pressure because people now realize how horrible the BBC is, Tiddles. Yes. Have they gotten rid of me? They possibly have gotten rid of me. I mean, what can I do? What can I do? Would I get rid of myself? I'm not prepared. I'm not as funny as I used to be. I'm not as smart as I used to be. I'm better looking than I used to be. Maybe. Maybe not. Look at this thing. This thing is really getting on my nerves. This thing right there. Or maybe it isn't. Maybe you find it really, really attractive. Anyway, Starmer has just shut down the intelligence sharing with Trump. Didn't know he had any. Yeah. Did he really just do that? What a scum that guy is. He's now saying that the Labour Party is the nationalist party. Is nationalist. This is what Andrew Rubin. This is the lies. You have to remember that the globalists are leftists and they lie. Remember Alpha Labor, Alpha Liberal? They lie. They lie. They're not. I don't know how you could be nationalist when you're totally, you're not even in the pocket of the left, of the globalists. You are the pocket. I'm distinguished, yes. I love that. Julian says, I'm distinguished, not old. But the truth is that what does it mean to be distinguished? You can distinguish me from somebody who's young. That's what that means. I'm distinct. Yeah. Kermit says he's a buffoon, and we thought Boris was bad. Boris was worse, actually. He was much worse because he supported the globalists without actually supporting the globalists. He was all pretend. I think Boris was wrong. At least with Keir Starmer, you know that he's lying. With Boris, you always have like a hope that he's on your side. Am I right about this? Who disagrees with me? Labour is nationalist and socialist, the National Socialist Party of Great Britain. In many ways, Maltese Phil, they are. They are, they don't stand for English people, British people, Christian people, white people, people who've been living here for generations. They don't stand for this. I mean, how could you say you're nationalistic when you're letting in... Oh, hold on a second. Could you hear me? Could you hear me? How could... We don't need no stinking badges, says Six Badges. I don't need no stinking... I'd like your stinking badge, though. Thank you, Six Badges. It's a guy. He's a guy. He's not a girl. I think I've been fantasizing about him being a girl, but he's a guy. Anyway... The liars always change the meaning of words. It's in their rule book. Yes, it is. That's what the left does. And it's about like, how can I lie to get ahead? How can I cry? When I've done something wrong, how can I cry? What did Judel say? I found myself yelling CVNT off at the telly to Lammy the other day, Rubes. That seemed to morph into wonk off at the car radio earlier, when he blamed the Tories for being another prisoner. Yeah, blaming the Tories. But the Tories are just as bad. I mean, and maybe there'll be somebody new. Maybe, what's the guy's name? Jenrick will step up to the plate, as we would say in America. Maybe step up to the plate. He is a buffoon. And Boris Johnson, are they both buffoons? And let's hope the next guy is not a buffoon. It's not a question of a buffoon. It's they stand for a political party and they're willing to lie to get their needs met. It's the same thing with the Muslims, this Tariqa thing, whatever it's called. Who knows how to pronounce that again? Julian says, older and wiser, don't you think with today's society, you are ahead. Ahead of what? I'd rather be young and poor than super wealthy that I am here in my triple studio compound here in Nunhead. Bojo was a rat. This is what Sella says. Financially crippled the country with CovCon, then flooded the country with migrants to try to pay off the debt. Proper clown Bojo. That's exactly right. Maybe if he'd been honest and say, listen, we're broke, but maybe we can get out of it by importing people who hate our guts. I don't know. I'm getting all upset. I'm not going to get upset today. I'm drinking a cup of tea. Lammy is the biggest embarrassment the country has ever seen. Is he the biggest embarrassment the country has ever seen? I'm not even sure. I've been here only 25 years. I think there are bigger embarrassments. I mean, what's the biggest embarrassment is someone who you think is smart and on point and someone you could trust, and then you find out that they're just absolute scum. I'm not going to mention who the guy's name is. The Labour Party, according to Darklands, are not going to last till the next election. But who the hell is capable of taking over? I'm capable of taking over. You're capable. Someone who has a belief system. Not like, I'm going to act like I'm responsible, but someone who actually wants to save the Angles, the Saxons, the Jutes, the Celts, the Cornish, the Irish, who wants to save the people here and not let people here who don't want you to eat eat pork, or don't want to see your face, or don't want you working. Well, that's me, basically. Don't want you working. Okay? That's, we've got just someone who actually believes something. The BBC. The BBC. I've said, how long have I said this about the BBC? How long? They are the propaganda arm. Stop me, producer. They are the propaganda arm of the deep state, of the socialist state, of the communist state, of, the bad people. That's who they are. Of feminizers. I mean, it's close there, but I'm picking Lammy, mostly because Hancock is thankfully now wrapping fish in chips. Yeah, well, basically, they're given a job to do, and they say, listen, just do it. Don't worry about what they say. There's an old story about that, which I have forgotten. About, it's the story about the salesman going across the street. I've told this story so many times. He's a brand new salesman. There are two shops across the street, and the company says, go across the street to the shop on the left and sit there for an hour. The guy will abuse you. He'll say our company's horrible, but at the end say, so you want to order 1,000 widgets. And he goes, and he forgets whether he should go to the shop, the new salesman, go to the shop on the left or the right. Which one should he go to, the left or the right? He goes to the one on the right, and the guy on the right says, I've never bought from your company. Your company's horrible, pieces of POSs. I will never buy for your company. And so he sat there for an hour, and then after an hour, he said, can I place an order for 1,000 widgets? And the guy says yes. Because all you have to do there is just lie. That's what they're saying to Keir Starmer. Can you control me, producer? Did you see the state of that taxi after Lammy had been in it? Disgusting. You would not want that person in your house. Yeah, I could believe it. I mean, does it matter whether I prefer always neat people. Name anyone more mortifying than Lammy. How about Tony Blair? How about that guy? He was worse because people actually believed him. Boris Johnson was worse because people actually trusted him for a little bit. Okay, so Maltese fell. Okay, talks about Lammy's, how messy he was. And now Joodles comes back in. The Picts. I always forget the Picts. The Angles, the Saxons, the Jutes, the Picts, the Vikings, the Danes. The Danes. I always forget the Danes. It's a slow seller. Joodles is talking to Seller. She doesn't pay any attention to me anymore. But I'm still picking Lammy, mostly because Hancock is thankful. Okay, I read that already. Starmer's on X today calling all right-leaning political persons as Islamophobic. He doesn't realize that the right, center, and left hate him, period. The only support he has is from Muslims. He barely has any support from Muslims. All the support is going to new political parties because they see the future. I'm getting too upset. I'm getting really, really upset. I've got to calm down. Joe Warrior is here. Hello, Joe. MC Scott says, yeah, two wings of the same bird, to quote Theoria. Theoria apophasis. I think that's how you pronounce it. Yeah, horrible, horrible situation. Horrible, horrible. But things are going to be okay. Things are going to be okay. Let him. It's like, what was the joke? What is the first Islamic country to get nuclear weapons? Britain. And that was said a few years ago when it was like funny, and now it's not funny. It's totally true. Totally true. Sellair says, Tory and the Labour are two cheeks of the same ass, and reform will be in a hole in the middle holding it together. Will be the hole in the middle. Perhaps it's true. Who knows? Who knows? You hope. You hope. We hope. We hope. I mean, he owns the party. How does he own the party? It's like something out of the movie Chinatown, where he says he owned the water company. How could he own the water company? That was from that movie. But Boris's failures were partly on us for believing he was better than he was. We already knew Starmer and Lammy were terrible. Yeah, we knew, but the other people didn't know he was terrible. The other people did not know he was terrible. Kermit, who lots of people didn't know. The BBC were invented to hypnotize the people with their deep state message. It's a propaganda tool. Andrew Rubin is 100% right. It's propaganda. Now they're saying, oh, if we just get rid of the head, it'll be okay. If we get rid of these people, it'll be okay. The whole thing needs to be, it's not for me to say. I never believed Boris was any good. I couldn't believe that he got much of a majority. He got that much of a majority, Kermit. Can we not talk to people this way with everybody? Oh, Kermit. I don't like that. I'm not saying it's wrong. If Kermit wants to be spoken to that way, remember, I have to read this stuff. So if you're going to have these cross things, remember, I don't have to. Anyway, I agree. Says Six Badges. It's the disillusion that hurts the most. Well, that's true. Everything, this is what's happened to me. Even before COVID, I'm trying to remember when I kind of lost faith in people. I would have to say that little girl who was taken and died. I can't even mention the name because I don't want it written up underneath, because they might, whatever. That's when I thought to myself, can't you see that those people are liars and that they might have killed their own kid? Maybe accidentally, but they killed their own kid. They didn't answer all those questions. And that was 2007. Labor won the election, not because they were any good, but because conservatives were so bad. Yes, and I have to apologize because I said you should vote for Labor to teach the conservatives a lesson. And I think that that's exactly was the right thing because it's teaching the conservatives a lesson. Am I right? It's teaching them a lesson. And because it's teaching them a lesson, they're not going to win again. You still got your head up here policing speech now. Who am I? Am I telling you not to talk? Yes, I'm not policing it. I'm not making it illegal. You can speak to him this way. It's just cringy to me. Oh, look at how friendly we are with each other. I'm not policing free speech. Or is that a joke? Is that a joke that you're making? Is that a joke? I agree. It says Six Badges. The delusion. The delusion. It's the delusion. Maltese Phil says, when Labour started an illegal war, I knew it was time to get out of the UK. All wars are illegal wars. What is a legal war? Look what's happening in Israel. That's considered an illegal war because they're trying to get their own people back. They've been kidnapped and the other ones were murdered. And that's considered, they've gone too far. What does it mean, a legal war? Every war is illegal. We've got a right to do what we want to do. But what was the reason? The reason was a lie. I saw the list of all the countries that those horrible people, Clinton, Obama, George Bush, Joe Biden, George Bush the first, all those wars that they started, the 5 of them. Okay, here we go. The most upsetting thing about the country, Vatnai is here, says, is not enough people are awake to the problems we face. When I try to talk about it, they think I'm a nut. Yes, that's exactly true. People don't see the problem. They think everything's okay. They think those people are exactly the same as us. I'm sorry, I get too excited. I'm really excited. Gnome Hunter is here. Who is, am I crumbling? I'm crumbling. I am crumbling. But you know what I did? I threw out some stuff. I actually brought stuff to the charity shop. I put stuff outside in the hallway kind of thing, in the entranceway for people to take. Probably around 10, like a bag like this size. I don't know how many, let's say it's 2, let's say about 8 to 10 square square feet of stuff. Okay, that's very interesting. Okay, let's get back. John Miller says it. Okay, it's my experience that MPs are always trying to fix what the last mod done, and so on and so forth. Well, they need to get elected, so it's not the MPs, it's us, it's you and me. It's you and me. And the political system in this country parliamentary system is horrific, is horrific. Joodles comes in and says she cringes. The last mob. Okay. John Miller, the last mob. Yeah. That's what they do. But right now we're in a state of war. There are two teams. The Tories are not fighting hard enough for us. The Reform, I'm not sure they're fighting hard enough for us, but somebody has to fight for us. I was thinking about the Spanish Civil War. I was thinking about those people who were involved in the Spanish Civil War and how I was against Franco. Okay? Against Franco. Of course I was against Franco. But now I look back and I think that Franco was fighting for Spain. I mean, yeah, he was maybe using the Nazis, whatever, but he was fighting for Spain. And the other side were a bunch of communists up there and over there and everywhere. Up there. And maybe that's what's going to happen to this country. So Judel says, I cringe when you declare your undying love for me. I never used the word undying. I never said that I love you right now. My love can die. It may never die for you. That could be scary to have me never die. But I do love you. I do love you. And but we don't get through life without cringing. That's true. There's a lot of cringing going on. Undying, I think that's a bit strong. Lewis, I'm here, says Warmellian, but I've got a cold. If it's not germs, it'll be a bad diet or low vitamin D, which I guess is a bad diet, not enough in the sun. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you indoors too much of the time? Are you cold? Maybe turn the heat up or get somebody to turn the heat up. Either way, I'm going to be feeling bad for a few days. Okay, well, this is what you should do. You should take a very warm bath. A warm bath. Warm up your entire body, Warmellian. That's Lewis Schaffer's advice. Get well soon, Warmellian. Okay, please. I think that is largely down to the likes of the BBC, ITV, and C4 for misreporting and gaslighting the population. The populace. Of course they are. They're such liars. Why are you saying this to get me upset? The BBC is the second worst thing about this country. And I don't know what the first one is. It could be the king. It could be that the globalists, maybe it's not even the king. It could be that the globalists control the country. But the BBC is the propaganda arm of it. Keith Bexley is here. Hello, Keith. Yes, so true. Everyone's saying, oh, no, we can't deport people to Afghanistan. We have international obligations and laws. We went to bloody war with them, and international community did nothing. So we could do whatever we wanted to do. That's exactly right. You can send people back. You don't let them in. You say, Lewis, you got to go home. Maybe they'll say this about me. Maybe they'll say this about me. We don't want you. We don't want you. Oh, no, not the dreaded man flu. That's offensive, Joodles, to call it the man flu. Men get cold, and the truth is, men better be really sick in order to be sick. They can't just say, women can go, I don't feel that good. So I don't believe that, Joodles, man flu. The most dangerous politicians at Blair, according to Ludd. Hello, Ludd. Hello, Ludd, big supporter of Lewis Schaffer, says Adolf, and he's still pulling the strings. Starmer is not his own man. None of them are their own man. They have got this ideology in their brain. They're communist, socialist, feminizing. They're team world. They're horrible people. They have this belief that everybody's alike, but they're better than everybody. Okay, he was chosen by Blair as the one best suited to do Blair's work. But who chose Blair? You think this is all Blair's idea? This has been going on since Karl Marx. Karl Marx, Acelia says, me too, Julian. I don't know what is this saying? Just happened to me. Had to post it twice. What do you think's happening? I'm not deleting anything. What's happening? Is there too many things? I've got it on live chat. I've got type chat. I'm going to go back to live chat. It should all be here. I don't know. I don't like the idea. Claire is here. Hello, Claire. Where have you been? So people, if I don't comment on it and it's something you think is important, just say, Lewis, you didn't comment on this. And I go, oh, sorry. Okay. Oh, sorry. Reform need to be tougher on legal migration. Integration is a lie, especially when large areas of the country are inhabited by majority of foreigners. Exactly right, Alex. Alex Mercer. Is this somebody different than the other Alex? Where are you from, Alex? Is this the same Alex? Hello, Claire. Yes, Alex, we have tried being tolerant for decades. You haven't even tried. You've been tolerant. You've let people. That doesn't mean you like it. Being tolerant doesn't mean you like mass immigration. But you didn't say anything. And now, when it's time to say something, let's hope it's not too late. I hope it's not too. What song is that? I hope it's not too late. It's a Cat Stevens song. I don't know. Yes, Alex, we have tried. That's what Keith Bexley says. We tried to be tolerant. You're late, Claire. Have you got a note from your mummy? Okay, there we go. Daryl is here. Hello, beautiful Daryl. Okay, the only way that the BBC can get out of this mess is to give Lewis Schaffer a regular slot. That's what Six Badges says. And you know what? Did I tell you to say that? I didn't tell you to say that, but I do appreciate that. Yeah, a regular slot. Somebody needs to speak freely. The BBC are the worst, Kermit says, but they are all at it. Watched Carol McGiffin interview yesterday about how they were controlled on Loose Women in more recent years. It's something that has grown worse. It's not that the individuals are controlled. The whole organization is scummy. The whole organization is bad. Claire says she's late because she was calling her uncle in Belfast, which is really nice. That's loving. Let's call our relatives. Let's be relatives. But Kermit is right. The BBC is the second worst because they're just the propaganda people, the people with the tanks, the people who control the tanks, the people who control the ideas, the communists. And I think I've said communists more in the last 3 or 4 months than I have in 50 years. Ever. Because you couldn't say it when I was a kid. I never even thought it. Oh, my bad. I thought that was Thursday's, Claire. It did enter my head. Okay, well, Joodles is very conscientious and she cares about other people. Okay, you're on the phone. It comes up in red and says not posted. Just copy it and paste it again, Kermit. Why would it say not posted? I don't see anything like that says this has not been posted. Reform need to be okay. Where have I done? Darkland says, after recent events with the BBC, it made me wonder, have we always been lied to by them as a recent thing? You don't need to wonder, you've always been lied to. Because the BBC was meant to represent the state. And the state has always lied to people. But the problem is, the state right now is not Britain. It's not English people. It's not the Angles, the Saxons, the Jutes, the Celts, the Cornish, the Vikings, the Normans, the Picts, the Scots, the Irish. It's not those people anymore. Now the state is based in the people's heads, and it's not an English state. Somebody's got to fight for the English. Who's going to fight for the English? Who's going to fight for the British? Who's going to fight for Lewis Schaffer? Do I have to fight for you? Do I sound insane, producer?
Yes.
Yes. He says yes, he can't even listen to me. How can you listen to this? Is it painful?
Yeah.
What should I really say?
You can leave me alone. Leave me alone. You mean telling you what to do your own job?
It isn't my job.
Yes, it is. You're not doing anything else.
But I'm up, there's no money in this thing. Speaking of money, everybody like the stream, please. Like the stream, subscribe to the stream. Tittles, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the screen. Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize. I just get so worked up over everything like this. Yeah. Hold on a second. The only way in which integration is plausible in the sense of a foreign quarter in a city or town. No, we don't want a foreign quarter. We want one country made up of English people. Taking over whole towns like Birmingham or the south end of London only brings trouble. Yes, yeah, because they think they're not like somebody. I saw a post on Twitter today, and the guy said, "I'm a Muslim. I am British. And he said, why are you telling me this is bad? Because you said, number one, you're Muslim. That was your first thing. You're saying you're Muslim first, number one, and that means you hate us. Number two, you said you're British. When we're not British, we're either English or Scottish. What happened to English people? Lewis, you're not commenting on something because you can't see it. YouTube are blocking some messages for some reason. That's what we are saying. Why are they blocking? Why are they blocking Cellair? This is Cellair. Cellair. Why is YouTube blocking messages? Are they blocking this entire thing? If I go over to Locals or Rumble or some other site, will you come with me? I don't know. I mean, how are we doing here in terms of people following the stream? How are we doing? people. 30. I don't know. Maybe I'm not being likable. I'm new here. I'm new. I'm from Wales. Alex Mercer. Okay, that's someone new because we got a couple of Alexes here. Welcome, Alex. Thank you very much for coming. Where in Wales are you from? Kermit says, welcome, Alex Mercer. The only way in which integration is not having a foreign quarter. Integration means that people marry each other. I mean, I don't even know why I'm recommending this because I'm not integrating. Am I integrating into this country? I don't even know if I am. Lewis, you're not. Okay, so Cellair is saying that. So where in Wales are you from, Alex Mercer? Top, middle, or bottom? Judel says, you got to fight for your right to party. Yeah, well, this ain't gonna. I don't know what they consider partying in the Islamic community. A lot of guys dancing with themselves. I mean, do you want that to happen, ladies? I don't think you do. Men, I don't think we do. So it's 1779, and this absolute lunatic named John Paul Jones decides he hasn't pissed off the British Navy enough, and he's sailing a busted old French ship. Look on Discord for more. I know what happened, and he attacked Whitehaven. Yeah, so Kermit's saying, buy the stream a cup of coffee. Thank you. At Ko-fi, Ko-fi, like coffee, .com/Lewis Schaffer. Claire says she will follow me. That's what I like to hear. If you're on live chat, you will get all the messages. If you're on top chat, your message will be censored by YouTube. I've got it here. Maybe, okay, hold on a second. Let me go up here. And see. Oh, it has top chat here. If I go live chat, is that different? I think that's different. So should that be okay? Do I have to put it on live chat, both on YouTube and Streamlabs? You guys don't even know what I'm talking about. I barely know what I'm talking. I'm not sure it's algorithmic because it usually get the message through on a second or third attempt. Maybe it's just a network glitch, but people seem to complain about it a lot. Kermit. My throat is hoarse from singing. I might have a strepsil or go low carb. Go low carb. Go low carb. Don't irritate. Irritation causes inflammation, causes whatever. What was your favorite areas of New York City? Of New York. York. I would say Y-A-W-K. I mean, I loved all of New York. I like the old bits. All the old places. I walked every single street for years and years. And then I came to London. I thought, oh, it's like New York, which a lot of it is like New York, but it's not quite. I mentioned FAT yesterday, and it was vaporized. Maybe somebody try that, see what happens. Maybe say something like, so-and-so is fat, 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 you know what I mean, and see if you get vaporized. Oh my God, every single day you need to change to all messages, Lewis. You know that. I don't know that. I need to be told that. I need to be told that. Don't be judgmental, Joodles. I mean, I change it on Streamlabs, but not on the other thing. Okay. Do you notice anything now? Okay. Let's see. I could see us ending up as a segregated country in every way. Makes me sad to say. There is no integration and things look to get worse. Well, I'm going to tell you, so I'll tell you what's worse than a segregated country. Who said this? Darklands. What's worse than a segregated country is a country that is totally controlled by an opposing force. And we, the majority or once majority population, have been totally demonized and ostracized and subverted. New York was based on Glasgow grid system. Probably it was. Yeah, I've been to Glasgow, and I thought to myself, that's why they film movies in New York, in Glasgow, to make it look like New York, John Miller. That's an excellent point. Excellent, excellent point. Caroline Cooper says, evening all. I don't know. Streamlabs says 6 badges, but he knows. YouTube. YT, YouTube. Hey, Lewis. Kate Gwynn is here. Hello, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Kate Gwynn. Evening all. I haven't been, and I'm not well, but thought I'd drop by to say hello. A segregated country is caused by too many carbs. Well, the fact that people aren't fighting back, that people are crazy, is caused by that. I know you're making a joke about that. But that's basically possible. If you want to be sick, the way you prevent being sick is keep your vitamin D levels up, go out in the sun if you can, eliminate stress, make sure you sleep more, and go low carbs. And maybe 5, eat red meat. That's what I believe. But let's hope Kate Gwynn feels better. Beautiful, beautiful Kate. Ron Smith calls it Balkans, like the Balkanization. Yes. I mean, this is what happens. You got one neighborhood that's this and another neighborhood that's that, and then they get taken over by the Turks. We're not even integrated with our own at this point. It's like the pro BBC against the rest of us. Yes, there are 2 big teams. They're the globalist teams, which the BBC is the cheap propagandist. And then there's the nationalist team, which I'd like to think that I'm on. Did you enjoy Brooklyn and New Jersey? Or did you prefer the big city Manhattan, Ludass, Tribeca, etc.? I mean, first you see Manhattan. I walked every single street in Manhattan. And then you go to Brooklyn or whatever. Brooklyn has a lot. I was born in. Yes, I liked Brooklyn. I mean, what is it going to be like? I mean, supposedly they say that Mandami is not going to get anything done. I hope. Starmer refuses. But you got to go to New York. What's your favorite part of London or Britain? Starmer refuses intelligence sharing with the USA due to concerns of the extrajudicial killings of drug smugglers in the Caribbean Sea. He thinks drug dealers' lives are more important than USA relations. Yes, that's what he thinks. They're more important. to him. He's been told to do a job, to fight for Team World. And Donald Trump is fighting for Team America and the nation state, which is pro-Israel, pro-Hungary, pro-Poland, and pro-England. More pro-England than Keir Starmer is. That's crazy. But that good point, Andrew Rubin, for pointing that out. Kate Quinn says, this is very true. When people talk of civil war in this country, that's what it means. People against themselves. That is true. When you look at these people and you say, hey, you're not helping this country by fighting against us. That's what I would say, but they don't see that. I saw Al Murray talking about right-wing people in a very negative way today. Al Murray, and I like Al Murray, but he's quite, whatever. I'm not going to criticize Al Murray, but but this is what they believe, Kate. Fighting amongst themselves, hopefully. It's like my friend Doug, who I spoke to last night. He says that this country, Britain, has lost its major institutions. It doesn't have its own. The defense is not fighting for it. The church is not fighting for it. The government is not fighting for it. What does it have left? America at least has the military. It has the government more and more. And it has, because we've got 50 states. Those 50 states are fighting for it. So America might have a chance. Let us pray. Let us pray. And then they come over here to help us out. Don't make the mistake of being nice in New York like I did. Be an ass and you'll be fine. No, you could be nice, but you just don't be a walkover. I mean, it's a lot of different people living there. I don't know. What do you mean by that, MC Scott? Tell us what you mean. I enjoy learning about the underground steam system in Manhattan. Yeah, it's got steam to heat up the buildings as a byproduct of the electric generation. Big, huge, couple of, not even big, but power plants right next to the United Nations that pumped steam. I don't know whether there's still steam coming in. But it gives that city that, Taxi Driver. Remember the movie Taxi Driver? Kermit. That's what. Then again, no, that's not boring, Kermit. That's interesting. Pub landlord like Ross Kemp, you'd have thought they would be more based. Well, that's the thing, Ron Smith, is that Al Murray, who I like personally, he's playing that character. He's playing a character of the pub landlord. Unfortunately, the people who liked that character believed him, and they actually thought that he was being serious, and he wasn't being 100% serious. So now he's got to, go back. Lud says, I like the city of London. I did a skyscraper tour a few years back. All the skyscrapers have restaurants at the top. So I booked them all over a few days. All of them. People in New York City are fantastic. I love it. I've been, The thing about New Yorkers is if you can prove to a New Yorker you're not going to kill them, they'll be your friend. That's the thing. They're not going to be friends with you immediately. It takes a long, I don't know. No, they will be friends. They will be friends with you. Because everybody comes from a different place. They come from a different place, so they have to make new friends. And you know what they say, you've got to have friends. The feelings, oh so strong. I had some friends, but they're gone. Someone came and took them away. Judel says, I met Ross Kemp in a hotel once. He ate 3 dinners and was well through the second bottle of wine, seeming so stone cold sober. He's an absolute unit. So you're saying he's an alcoholic. Is that what you're saying? Sorry that Al Murray is sold out. He was always a comedian, not a moral compass. He hasn't sold out. This is what his belief system is. He hasn't sold out. I don't think. Well, that's a good question. I saw that chart. Who are the right-wing comedians on the BBC? Who are the left wings? There's only one right-wing comedian, supposedly, which is, what's his name? And Does that mean the others have sold out? No, they got a job to do. It's like when somebody comes into me and says, don't say this. And I think to myself, do I want to have a job? Do I want to be on the TV? So you don't say anything. Who is Ross Kemp? I hear he's not that tall. I like Al Murray. He's very educated. Yes, he is extremely educated. Where did he go to school? Where did Al Murray go to school? I think he went to Oxford or something like that. Where did Al Murray go to university? He went to Oxford University and he graduated, I think. And he had a history degree, PhD. You know, all these comedians are not like me. I am a failure and a loser. These are guys who are winners. They put on tours. They're prepared. They've got jokes. They know what they need to do. Me, I'm always like tilting at windmills. But I like Al Murray personally. Okay? I like Al Murray personally. Murray did a good WW2 documentary on Operation Barbarossa. That's the Germans going out to France, going out to Romania or something to get the whatever. Ron Smith said, yeah, he did. I think there's an A in Murray. Anyway, I only ever what? I only ever met, maybe the word is met, one New Yorker in New Orleans, Darkland says, and he was a pretty decent guy, but he came across as being abrasive and angry at first. Well, that's like, would you say that that's like me? That's like Joodles and these Northern Irish people. They're lovely people, but they come across. Anyway, one right-wing comedian, which is what's his name? What's actually his name? Jeff Norcott. Okay, how about Jeff Norcott? They also put in Simon Evans, so 2, and there were 100 others, and they were all the way to the left. All the way to the left. Julian doesn't like Al Murray. Okay, remember asking my sister a decade or so ago why there was no right-wing comedian. She said they would just not be funny. Ron Smith. Yeah. Yeah, why would they know? Well, because if you call whatever you call yourself, it's not funny. If I call myself a right-wing comedian, it's not funny. It's not funny. Except to left-wing people. People, you can't have a definite opinion. So that's why there wasn't. And the world that we lived in was about like, we didn't see the threat. No one saw the threat. Ross Kemp has interviewed men from other cultures who couldn't understand. Oh, I know that guy who couldn't understand the wrongs of violating women beyond getting caught. Yet, has he spoken up about our immigration issues? Celebs are yes, we are I'm not a celeb. I'm an internationally famous stand-up comedian who was recently seen on GB News. But yeah, yes, cowards. Yes, cowards. Jeff Norcott is great. Simon Evans too. Hilarious live. Yeah. You know, you want to be liked. You want to be liked. And when everybody is when the whole media is controlled by the communists, when it's a communist media, why step into something? So Stormer thinks that drug smugglers' lives are more important than U.S. special relationships. Stopped intel over concerns about extrajudicial killings. Okay. Did you write that before? I just saw that. Yeah, it's bad. He's bad. I made a mistake of being in the front row for Al Murray about 15 years ago. So young, Julian. He was screamingly funny. Screamingly. You were always screaming, laughing, funny, and rinsed my then fella to absolute death. What a brilliant night. What a brilliant night. Okay, well, there you go, Joodles. You never said that about me. You never said I'm brilliantly funny. You never said that. You never said that, but Al Murray you're saying it to. But you never say it about me. She never says it about me. Sometimes this show feels like a fever dream, says Blackadder Gnome Hunter. What is a fever dream? Lud, what did Lud say? I saw Jeff Norcott live at Monmouth last Thursday night. Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy it? Good point. I had a mate who keeps sheep around Monmouth, rented from Prince Charles around there once. Okay, so thank you, Ron Smith, for that. I'm glad you told us that. Barbarossa wasn't that? It wasn't Barbarossa. That was the Germans going out east. Jules has never seen me do stand-up, and you're not even embarrassed by that. You're not even embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. I'm not even embarrassed. Yes, was the German invasion of Russia out east. Yes, out east. Says Selaire, and Noam agrees. The plan to invade Britain was Operation Sea Lion. I wish Don Stanhope would tour more often. Yeah, I hope he's doing all right. He was absolutely amazing. I've met him. I've had a drink with him. Okay, if the Lewis Schaffer Uncooked show isn't making you feel like you've just tripped acid, it's not the Lewis Schaffer Uncooked show. How is this making anybody feel like they've tripped acid? I think I'm being reasonably reasonable. I think I'm being reasonable. Lewis, you're really funny in the Backyard Comedy Club. Thank you, Daryl. I think I'm not funny all the time, but at least I'm not funny all the time, but at least I'm trying to be as authentic as possible. Lewis Schaffer Live today. That's me, and this is the show. Lewis Schaffer Live is an 11 out of 11. Could you say some words about the Great War? We're going to be in a Great War. We're in a Great War right now. We're in the Great War number 3. Which is the Great War, 1 or 2 or 3? Okay, well, if he got off his arse and booked a venue, we could go to see him, Claire. Yes. Yeah, I did something yesterday. I organized some of my stuff, and I threw it out today. I've done something. And every single day, this is day 153. It's November 11th. Which is an important day in British history, and I've done something. I'm going to do more. But you are right, Joodles. We all need to do more. We all need to get off our butts. Funny always, says Lud. I saw Lewis at Backyard and at GB News. Funny always. Yes, I appreciate that. I think you're funny naturally. What does that mean, naturally? I don't believe anybody is funny naturally. I think it's like, you're beautiful naturally. No, you need a little bit of lippy. You need some eyebrows. You need some haircut. You know what I mean? I don't believe that. Mike Osmond relentlessly picked on my hubby when we sat in the front row. Well, that's what you do. That's what you do. I know, that's what you do. I never pick that. You pick on the women because they don't expect it. The Great War was 1914 to 1918, Noam Hunter says. The Greater War was 1939 to 1945, and the greatest war will start in a decade or so. Happy remembrance. Well, you're optimistic. You think a decade. I think the war has started already. It was 1939. I think there will be a war within a year. And a year. That's what I believe. Maybe 2 years. Caroline Cooper, you saw me at the Backyard. Well, we're all going to go. I have at least one show, which is on the 10th of February, which you're all going to go and see me perform. You're all going to buy a ticket, and you're all going to say, we want Lewis Schaffer. And when I come on, you go, Lewis, Lewis, Lewis. Yeah. I don't think it's that bad, Kate. It's slightly freeing not to have to bother what? What are you saying? What are you saying? Not to have to bother. I don't know. I missed something here. Let me just get back on the stream. If I missed something that you said, you can repeat it. Your honesty is funny, Lewis. Well, that's what I'm trying to be. Thank you for that. I want people to see me on stage and to say, you know what? I watched 153 shows of Lewis Schaffer, and He's exactly like this when he's doing his 153 shows. I mean, maybe the jokes are a bit better, but he's not like, woo, he's not like being Mr. Comedian. But thank you it's at the Backyard Comedy Club. Thank you, Daryl. That's what I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be honest because, my entire life I could not be honest. And the reason I couldn't be honest is I didn't feel I got the love from my parents. And you don't want to admit that. And my mother went to a mental hospital when I was a kid. And you couldn't say, you didn't go up to people and say, where's your mother? Oh, she's in a mental hospital. She's in a mental hospital. And now I say it. I tell everybody that. I try to be as honest as possible. Backyard is a great club. Let's all finally meet there for Lewis. So when a ticket becomes available, buy a ticket. Get a ticket now. See if it's available for that show. See if it's available. We're talking about green smoke stuff. Are we talking about that stuff? I'm against it. I'm against it. Andrew Rubin says, yes, it was. I remember his generals were against the Russian invasion. It really cost them in the finish. Yes, it cost them in the finish. Well, the Russians have an incredible defense, which is all that land, which is why you think, well, why do they need any land? Why do they need Poland? Why do they want to go into Germany? Because they want a lot of land to tire out their enemies. It worked for It worked against Napoleon. It worked against Hitler. Right? Am I right about that, producer? Yes, he says, yeah, I want to talk to him. I love the guy. Both my children are here today. Both my children are here today. Mental health, it's all in the head. That's a joke from Donna Aylesbury. Donna Aylesbury. Everybody, make sure we like the stream. That's all I ask of you. Not all. I want some money too. But can you like the stream? Is it going to... Oh, you're going now. Are those? Why are you wearing those shoes? They look like they're top quality, producer.
They're my shoes.
I know, but they're going to get all dirty.
That's the point of them is sports shoes.
They're sports shoes. He's got a pair of Nike sports shoes. You pay. Were you given them or did you buy them?
£70.
He paid £70. He used to have a lot of money, and he will make a lot of money. When is Lewis Schaffer's show? It's just going to be me. It's going to be 10 minutes of me screaming at people saying, I'm not prepared, I'm not prepared, I'm not prepared. MC Scott, always use the green responsibly. It's a Tuesday. It is a Tuesday, Joodles. I'm sorry, it's a Tuesday. And it's in central London, kind of, sort of. It's in Caliphate, where it is. It's right near Whitechapel. It's around the corner from Whitechapel train station. He found him in the park. Do you find stuff that gets thrown out? He doesn't do that. But the other kid does. The other kid does. The mother doesn't like that I find stuff that's thrown out. It's a real shame you are against it when obviously you need it. I'm not against it. I'm not against it. I'm not against it. Well, first of all, I don't want to say that I'm in favor of it because YouTube might be listening to this. And what I'm saying is so horrific to begin with, basically. I'm not against it. Do you pay the producer? 6 badges, I do not pay him, but he lives here for free. And his other son lives here for free. It's all on it's on Lewis Schaffer's money. And I have no money. I have no money. My life is, what? I need new trainers, but size 13 are a bugger to find. Says Kermit, your big feet. Yeah, yeah. I mean, in America, that's 13 is like a normal size. Here, people have very small feet. When I moved here, you couldn't find. I'm size 11. And then my feet hurt, and I thought, oh, it's because the shoes were too small. It wasn't that the shoes were too small. It was that I had gout. What have we discussed today? Can we just, before we forget, what did we discuss so I could say, what have we discussed? We discussed the evils of the BBC. That was in the beginnings. Evil. We discussed Starmer and Team World. 6 badges, size 7. That is normal, but it could be considered a bit small. I didn't get the love from my parents. This is what Lud said. I was there when my father died, holding his hand. He said, I could tell a joke is coming. I'm going now, son. I said, "Aw, what about the flat tenor? Ask your sister. Should I?" Wait. It's a joke, but I'm not reading it properly. I didn't get the love from my parents. This is what Lud says. I was there when my father died. I was holding his hand. And he said, "I'm going now, son." And I said, "Aw, what about that tenor now?" And she said, he said, "Ask your sister." Should I? There's something missing in that joke, but it could be something. It's the portion sizes in the U.S., Lewis. They're making the Americans feel bigger than they need to be. It doesn't make it makes your feet bigger. It does. It gives you gout. It gives you plantar fasciitis. If your feet hurt, my feet used to hurt. They don't hurt anymore. I've got beautiful, sensitive, loving feet. Loving feet. Caroline Cooper is your big feet. Great for swimming. Great for balance. And people's feet, they're like put into small little shoes. So their feet look like this. He owed me a tenner, Lewis. That's an old joke. It's good. I do appreciate that, Lud, and I did read it twice. You have to remember, I'm not as great as I used to be. I'm not saying I was ever that bright. People said that I was bright, but I remember my mother, she did the IQ test on me, and she said, "You're not as smart as your sister." Can you believe that? Did you know that? Is he here? He's not here. The thing missing in that joke is how you read it, Lewis. Yes. Yeah. He owed me a tenner. Yeah. I think there was a period or something missing. I'm not going to blame myself for this. Joodles, I blame myself for everything. I can't blame myself for that. My son, the producer's going to play tennis. I'm very pleased with him. He looks like he's lost a bit of weight.
Shut up.
Have you?
Leave me alone.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Does anybody want a new boyfriend for the girls here? Anyway, just watch Dr. John Campbell. John, not K. You spelled that wrong. It's not Camp. It's spelled totally wrong. Reviewing 3-stage 4. Hold on a second. Cases of cancer, all cured completely with Fembiol. What is Fembiol? First of all, Campbell is C-A-M-P, Camp B-E-L-L. Donna Aylesbury. What is Fembiol? Is that a drug? Because I'm against drugs. I think Femben. I'm against that. Don't promote any of those kind of drugs. In working class areas, Julian says, in the really rough parts of the UK, we call it a no-go area. In posh areas, they call it a Greg's or a Wilco. That's another joke. I got that joke. Okay. I would love to see your feet. Oh, hang on. Don't read that out loud. 6 badges. You don't want to see. I have whatchamacallit. I'm wearing a pair of old jeans with paint stains and I haven't worn these in a while, but I'm so thin. Can you see how thin? Look at how thin those legs are. Rock star legs. Rock star legs. What did we discuss today? Can you answer my question, everybody? Kermit says, stop picking on the producer in public. I would stop picking on him if he paid more attention to me. Don't you want your kid to be paying more attention to you? He doesn't pay attention to me. Tennis in winter, laugh out loud. He's going for a brass or smoke, Lewis. What is a brass? I know what a smoke is. It could be. He says I said to him, look at how cold it is. And it's dark. I don't know. Do Native Americans have big feet? What is a Native American? Am I a Native American? The BBC. What does that mean, Kermit? Brass. What does that mean, Cellaire? Brass. Tell the producer I can transform his serve to be the best in the club. I think he joined a tennis club, not the same one that what's his name is joined. Fenbenzol, Siri, no spelling correctly. What does that mean? No spelling correctly. No spelling correctly. What does that mean? No spelling correct. A brass is a hooker. Oh, okay. Is he doing that? He could be. You know, they can lie. Kids can lie. Kermit, the producer isn't taking his job seriously. He is in a privileged position as the producer. Many of us would be the producer of the Lewis Show if we had the chance. He does it because I'm his mother badmouthed me, or maybe I badmouthed his mother. Something bad happened. But Lud a good tennis player, so maybe we'll have an international tennis tournament. We could do that. Couldn't we do that? I think we could do that. Am I a Native American? No, but my family has lived in Britain. It lived in America since 1890. 1890. I mean, 1890. 1890. Okay, let's look up what that is. What fenbenzol is. What do I believe is the best thing you should do for cancer? Let's remember, this is the Lewis Schaffer Show, so I can bore you as much as I want to. Okay, hold on a second. Window capture. Here we go. Is a veterinary deworming medication used to treat gastrointestinal parasites in animals, but is not approved for human use. So I see. So it's like the other one is also a dewormer. It's got potential on cell division and apoptosis in lab studies. These findings were not supported by clinical trials in humans, and its use as a cancer treatment is unproven and potentially harmful. Yeah, don't take pills like this. I am so old. I remember apricots, ground up apricots. I remember people going to Mexico for ground up apricots, and that was the cure for cancer. Everybody was like in a major thing. Let's find out what year that was. Ground up apricots. Ground up apricots. I didn't mean, Donna, I didn't mean to question your spelling or anything like that. I apologize for that. But let's look up ground apricot stones, cancer. Let's see what it says. They do not cure or prevent cancer, and consuming them is dangerous because they contain amygdalin, which converts into cyanide in the body. Health authorities say it's a lack of evidence. Let's see what the history of it is. Let's see the history. History of ground. It's all part of the same lie. It's like you take one little pill, everything's going to be all right. 1950s to 1970s. Dates back to the mid-19th century in Russia. Became a popular alternative therapy. You want to kill yourself, you kill yourself on that. Peak popularity, 1960s. Laetrile, that's what it was called. Partially man-made, semi-synthetic. It's called Laetrile, which was from that, patented by Ernst Krebs and his son, was marketed under the name vitamin B17 as a misnomer, intended to help it bypass regulations for drugs. 178 cancer patients found no substantial benefits. Some patients, cyanide toxicity. Current status, today the scientific consider the use of ground apricot stones or Laetrile to be an unproven, potentially dangerous practice. Am I a bad person for thinking that for not believing this. Do you want to not get cancer? Ivermectin, that's another one. It's a dog rewormer. If you want to not get cancer, you lower your carbs. Lower your carbs, okay? Lower your carbs. Backyard is usually on a Tuesday night, says Led. Travel Lodge is right next door. It can be expensive, but the price changes daily. I've seen the price go from 145 pounds to 40 quid in a few days later. Yeah, go for that. I used to think mercury is a cure for syphilis. They used to think mercury is a cure for syphilis. And it would end up in their bones. Yes, and syphilis is a lie, too. I don't even believe in syphilis. Wormwood. Wormwood. That's another thing that was like a big lie. Wormwood. Well, wormwood is what they made anisette. Not anisette. What is that? What is that thing that they made? Wormwood that they made. What is the alcohol? But it's not alcohol, but it's like alcohol, and it's very scary. The French. Wormwood. Wormwood. Abstinence. Yeah. Is it illegal? It's a neurotoxin, which is believed to cause madness, convulsions. Show that high alcohol content of the abstinence was more likely the culprit, and the ban has since been lifted in many countries. Is now legal in most places. When I was a kid, you couldn't buy it. You couldn't buy it. You couldn't buy it. So everybody, stay, if you have any money, stay in the Travel Lodge, maybe rent the place, see if you can get it for 40 pounds. Imagine if 30 people turned up, or 50, turned up to see Lewis Schaffer. I use apricot powder as a facial mask. It's probably not good on the skin either. You don't need it. What you need for your face is low carbs. Once in a lab studying cancer, the animals had gut parasites. They gave them fembendazole, and it cured the cancer. But surprise, the findings were suppressed. Yeah. What is cancer? Let's find out what cancer is. I think I know what cancer is because I studied under the great Dr. Thomas Seyfried and the great Otto Warburg. The missus comes from Denton in Manchester, once the hat manufacturing capital of the UK. That explains a lot. Remember when there were those things? Absinthe, says Marianne. Thank you, Marianne is here. She's here all the way from Peekskill, New York. She's here from Peekskill, New York. Peekskill, New York. We've got a good audience here. Really, not that this is it's not an audience. It's a conversation. What would you call this stream? It's not a show, really. Wow. You just as well go and get a COVID jab at this rate. No. You're not talking to me. But are you talking to me, Donna Aylesbury? I wonder what would happen if Lewis tried to book a migrant hotel. For you guys, migrant coming in from all over, taking the train in. I mean, it's a lot of money to spend. It's a lot of money. And something's going to happen with Lewis Schaffer. And it's like the history of Lewis Schaffer. I go through periods where I'm like really busy. It's a bit manic, depressive, bipolar. It's a bit like that. It's a bit like that. Okay? It's a bit like that. Donna was being sarcastic. Okay, sorry, Vatnai. My sense of humor is not that good. Good evening, everyone. Mark Therosian. He is half Armenian. Good evening, everybody. I'm here listening, but driving. Okay, that's safe. Let's be safe. So keep me entertained. Okay, well, you're listening to me. I'm reading all the people's things here. This is My son says, I should not read all of your comments, but basically I read most of your comments. I don't read all of them. Joodle says, last time I was in Denton was at a funeral, Kerms. Now it's Kerms, not Kermie, Kerms. I don't know why I'm telling you this, because you're a chatty Northern Irish woman. That's why. You're just chatty. And that's what I like about you. Is it because you want me to be in your hotel room, Joodles? Who knows? We could all get together and maybe, who knows, maybe there'll be love. Maybe I could see there being love between Kermit and Joodles. I could see that. Here's the other Alex. How rude from the producer. What, from to like run off and play tennis? I would say that's really rude. I would say that's rude. Laugh out loud. Did that give you tingles, Kermie? Out of control quotes. 11/11/2035. My sense of humor is not that good. Out of context quotes. Yeah, my sense of humor is not that. It's not as good. I don't get jokes. Not that I ever get jokes. I'm not. You know what? In order to be a comedian, most comedians are smarter. They're not smarter, but they listen and they pay attention and they're always thinking in joke modes. Most people. I'm not saying comedians are not smart, but a lot of them anyway. Lucy Van Pelt. I was thinking, where is Lucy Van Pelt? Where is she? And here she is. Hello, Lucy. I was listening to a space on Twitter last night and someone joked, an Armenian is just a Jew who'd followed a penny into a church. Discuss. That could be considered anti-Semitic. It's basically saying that an Armenian is kind of like a Jewish person, is that they've been isolated, they've got their own belief system, they've gone around the world, and they've done some great things. There are lots of great Armenians in the world. I mean, follow a penny into a church. It's like that joke, which is the two Jews outside of a church. Have I told this before? I'm running out of material. Two Jews outside of a church, and it says, become a Christian, 50,000 pounds. Have you heard this joke? Become a Christian, 50,000 pounds. So Moshe says, Jaime, can you believe that? They give you 50,000 pounds if you become a Christian. What's it with these Christians? They're crazy. And Jaime goes, I don't know if that's true. He says, you know what? I'm going to go in. So he goes into the church and is there for 2 hours. And when he comes out, he says, I forget who's speaking, but Moshe, is it true? Did they give you $50,000 for being a Christian? And Moshe goes, Jaime, what's it with you Jews? Always thinking about money. I didn't tell that joke very well. It's hard. There are lots of great Armenians in the world. Yes, there are. Lots and lots of great Armenians. And we should be worried about the Armenians. They've been pushed into a corner in much the same way. They've been, I don't know if they've been exterminated by the Turks. I don't know if they have been, but some bad things have happened to Armenians, and they've basically been forgotten about. There's lots of these small little groups. I don't know how many Armenians are there. Let's do a check on how many Armenians there are. What do you think that means, Lucy? What do you think it means, Armenians? How many diaspora Armenians? $8 to 10 million people, significantly outnumbering the 2.9 million people living in Armenia. The largest communities are found in Russia, the United States, and France, Iran, Lebanon, Syria, Canada, and Brazil. It's we have to fight for those people. We've got to fight for them. We got to fight for ourselves. We got to fight for them. It's a result of World War I, when the genocide committed by the Ottoman Empire forced Armenians into Western Armenia to flee. Another wave of immigration from Eastern Armenia occurred in the 1990s. from the Soviet Union. Spelled. You know, it's. When was this? Here's a map. Can you see the map? Can you see the map? There's the map. From Turkey to Constantinople. This is the area where they were kicked out of. Supposedly, we don't know. So they went to Russia. They went down to Iran. You know, I mean, that's the sadness of the entire thing. You think everybody's going to be around forever. Lewis talks about Google searches. Yes. I mean, is this better? Is it, I don't know. Is it better that, I don't know. Is this a good show? I can't even tell. Backyard serves a jug of lager. It's like 4 or 5 pints. Whatever you guys want, I'll buy us around. There's Lud. So Lud's going to be there. And I'll be there. And I'll wave hello. And I'll say, I'll be outside. Everybody who came to see me, come and introduce yourself. We'll all hang out. Yeah. So we have to feel for the Armenians. We have to feel for them. It looks like there are 10 million or 10 to 12 million Armenians who call themselves Armenians. The only Armenians you need to worry about is Louise. Louise is the Armenian on this group chat. Lewis. Did you spell my name wrong? Who is the Louise? I got a joke out of Lewis. What joke did I tell? When did I tell? What joke? I laughed at your jokes yesterday. You were so funny and so dirty and so dirty. But she's going, was I dirty? I wasn't dirty yesterday. People were very dirty. We've been dirty last night. This is the late night show. I guess we're allowed to be. I guess we're allowed to be dirty. Anyway, is this too loud? Is this too loud? I'm going to lower this a little bit. Just confirmed he was an Egyptian. Gnome Hunter. Who was an Egyptian? Carrie B is here. Hello, Carrie from Greenwich. Carrie B is here. A little bit hello. 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 Gnome Hunter is saying something there. Why is the screen white in the corner? Thank you for reminding me. Thank you for telling me to go back on track. Thank you for telling me to get back on track. Right. Judah says, right. Actual splutter laugh at out-of-control jokes. That'll teach me to drink anything when Lewis is talking. Oh, that is so nice of you. I think you're being nice to me. I think you're nice. I think it's nice. Incredibly funny, but the hottest pile. What is the hottest pile? Good evening, Lewis. You know, it's amazing about how Jews care about money. Because I was walking down the street and I saw a $5 bill, $5, this is years ago, $5 in the road. And I bent down to pick it up. I bent down to pick up a $5 bill. This is about 20, 30 years ago when I was in New York. So let's just say it was worth about $15. Maybe it's worth whatever it was worth. And I picked it up and I thought to myself, that's such a Jewy thing to do. Because you people would never pick up a $5. You'd just leave it there. You would leave it there. You wouldn't pick it up. Because you don't care about as much money. And that's when I realized that I, as a Jew, was just obsessed with money. Money. I was so embarrassed. I was really, really embarrassed. I was just so embarrassed. So he's always whinging. He needs or wants a woman. And Carrie B is only down the road. Yes, Carrie B. Carrie B, let's meet up. But we got to be thin. We got to be thin. I picked up 20p. No, you didn't. No one cares about money. Nobody would pick up 20p. That's very funny. No one would pick up a 10-pound note or a 20-pound note. You wouldn't do it because you're not obsessed with money like the Jews. With the money. Okay, so this has been our show. Before we go, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. What did we discuss today? We discussed Armenians. What did we discuss? Before I thank everybody, before I thank Doodles and Carrie B for coming in, even though he's late, you definitely would. Of course you would. You'd pick up 5 pounds. You'd pick $1 up a pound off the street. A pound off. This is the way people are. Gnome Hunter, thank you for coming in. Kate Gwynn, thank you, Kate Gwynn. Claire, I love you. Kate Gwynn, I love you. Ron Smith, I love you. I love you. Andrew Rubin, I love you. I'm not going to say I love you to everybody. Joodles, I love you. I'm not going to say this, I love you to everybody. It's ridiculous. Make sure we go to this right there. Press the thumbs up. You got to do it. Just make sure you press it. Every single show, do it. Every single show. So if we have 35 people and 30 of the people actually say they liked it, it might help us get 1 or 2 more extra people. Selaire, thank you for coming in. Ludd, fantastic. Ron Smith, 6 badges. He's a guy from France. Caroline Cooper is a girl. These are all good people. You are all good people. The 10th of, I would say buy a ticket now just to be on the safe side. The 10th of February, you will see Lewis Schaffer. And what I'm going to do, I don't know. It's going to be wild. Daryl, thank you very much for coming in. Thank you. Donna Aylesbury, always brilliant. Always, never a disappointment. I love you. Let's see what else. I'm not driving to London for 10 minutes. It's not going to just be 10 minutes because we'll hang out afterwards. You can give me a hug. I got that free daily sitting on my sofa. Yes, possibly. I'm not going to be just screaming. It's going to be screaming and funny. I hope it's going to be funny. It's going to be funny. I'm speaking to Joodles right now. I didn't see that message, and I did now. Lucy, thank you for coming in. I love you, Lucy. Thank you for coming in. I think that's pretty much everybody. Julian, John Miller. How could I forget John Miller? Keith Bexley. I mean, these are quality people. Let's all be thin. You know how much time we have? November, December, January. We've got basically three months to get thin. Can't wait. December, January, February. 3 months. Let's be thin. So when you're there and you're thin and I grab a hold of you and I try to cop a feel. But I'll tell you, may I please cop a feel? Otherwise, I'm not going to do it. But maybe you can cop a feel with me. I won't call the police. But let's all be thin by that time. Are we all going to practice? We're going to practice being thin. Being thin by 10 February 25. Okay? MC Scott, you're thin already. You're perfect. 3 months for the Lewis Schaffer show and maybe it'll be like the start of me having another tour again where I go everywhere and I do tons of shows, or when I used to do shows in the basement. Carrie B. Yes, I'm obsessed, Carrie B. But maybe you want a man who's obsessed. Maybe you want a man. Yeah. I had a great hug at a backyard comedy club. You could say that. I hugged Lewis Schaffer there. I touched him. And I asked him, can you please touch me? And he touched me. Something like that. It'd be just fantastic. Fantastic. I'm going to say, I might say that, or it might turn out to be really funny. It might be really funny for me to say, Darklands is here. I'm all for being thin, but we need self-control with food too. We do need self-control. Well, what does that mean? That those two things are related. You need self-control to be thin. Darklands. We need self-control. Okay, everybody, I'm waving goodbye. I'm going to go to the, can you see that? I'm going to go to this stream. Go over to Discord. Yes, let's go to Discord. Or let's go over to here we go. Let's go over to Twitter. Let's write something on Twitter saying, Lewis, I love you so much. I watch all of your shows, 153 shows. I don't know what they're on about. They're unprepared, but I like them anyway. Or maybe I don't like them, but I'm drawn to them. I don't know what you need to say. And also on X.com. There you go. Thank you, Kermit. Thank you. Thank you, Joe. I didn't say thank you, Joe. I didn't say. Anybody else wants me to say their name. Okay? So we'll see you. I'm going to end the stream in 2 minutes. Well, why don't we, I'm sorry for interrupting, why don't we write down what we discussed? What did we discuss in the beginning part of the show? Because I don't remember what it was. What did we discuss? The BBC being evil and Starmer being evil and Armenians being evil. Everybody's evil. Everybody's evil. Okay.